Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Thank you guys for joining me. Had a little trouble there at the beginning. I have to log back into everything again. Not really sure why all this went wacko on me, but thank you guys for tuning in. This is Music and Mixing, and we are doing a special show tonight based around virtual DJ questions. So if you have virtual DJ questions, tonight is the night for you to ask them. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat. If you're in the chat, we always take a couple seconds. If you've never seen the show, take a couple seconds at the beginning and give a shout out to anybody who's there and wants a shout out. I'm going to adjust my camera just a little. So if you're in the chat, hit me up. I think this is picking up all the chats tonight. I'm not sure. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. But if not, I'm going to see if I can even bring up the YouTube just in case the other one doesn't pick up all the chats. But like I said, tonight's about virtual DJ. If you have any questions, I'm here for you for the next hour. There I am live. Whoop, nope, we got to mute that, otherwise you're hearing me. There we go. I can see some people viewing now. See if the chat's coming in on the other side. I apologize. Yeah, a lot of this just is not coming in over here. Anyways, I think I can only see the YouTube chat right now. So I see John. What's going on? And Terry. Is it Terry? Yeah. Snook. Patrick. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Apparently, I'm not getting any chats from anywhere else. So if you are on Facebook or one of those places watching us, Disc Jockey News, jump on over to YouTube and I'll be able to answer your questions there because nothing's coming up in the chat right now from anywhere else but there. I'm going to go there and see if I can find on that and see if I can find that page and see if at least a couple of them I can catch, hopefully, so I can answer your questions. Because what's use of having, questions for people if I can't see your questions, if I can't answer them? Let's see if we're over on their page. Scrolling. I'm there. Oh, it went up twice for some reason. So that's good. So we're there. I can't really see any questions or tell if anybody's watching. So I'm over to the other one. So definitely a big thanks to everybody for checking everything out tonight. I'm here for your questions. I got Virtual DJ set up. I got the deck set up. We can do all kinds of mixing tonight, whatever you guys want to do. It's here for you. So I got all the questions. Definitely, like I said, we always like to do a couple shout-outs at the beginning. So if you're watching from somewhere around the world, somewhere other than where I'm from, which is pretty much anybody because I'm all by myself here in Studio 7, which I'm cool with that. I'm very cool with that. I like that. I'm going to adjust the camera again. It's just up a little too high. There we go. All right, so virtual DJ. The more I play with that, the more I find out what it has. I've been messing around a lot recently with the being able to do the video broadcasting, and there's so much there that I can't even really do a show on because there's a lot involved in that. It would be like doing a show on just OBS. There's so much stuff in there that they can do. It's not even funny. Trying to keep an eye on different things here. Sorry about this. All right, that's that then. Yeah, people sending me messages. So, since I'm only seeing a few chats and everything's going on there, Mexico City, what's going on, Jose? What's going on? Hope you checked out. I just did my version. Instead of being a Cinco de Mayo, it was a 5+1 de Mayo Latin House mix I just did for the last 2 hours on my Twitch channel. I love Latin House, and I rarely ever get to spin it. I'm always happy to spin top 40. And so tonight I just decided I wanted to do one of those. Dave Wolf from Missouri, what's going on? I got a chat over here, so I apologize. I'm looking that way. Normally I got the chat in front of me, but I'm going to chat off to the side tonight. Snooks from Virginia. Anybody else in the chat, say hey, and then just feel free to throw out your questions. Don't forget also, if you're not a subscriber to Disc Jockey News, please take a couple minutes and subscribe to us. There's also an Insiders area that you can join the Insiders Facebook group. And for a short time only, all of our DJ and TV Insiders videos, and that's just a ridiculous amount of videos on education, are all free for just a short time. So if you want to jump in on that, you can. Don't forget to click the little reminder bell so that whenever we put up any new videos, you'll get a reminder. And also, feel free that if you hit the thumbs up, all that, but feel free if you ever have any topics for future music and mixing shows. Before I was doing it once a month, but now with this break, I'm trying to do it every other week. So, I don't really know how much I have to offer you guys, but if you have questions and stuff you want me to cover, I'll be here more often, that sort of thing. I don't even think that camera adjusted. Now it's down too low. I'm going to spend the rest of the night just tweaking that camera. You watch. Hey, welcome to my show where I tweak the camera constantly. All right, back to the chat. Jeffrey's from Washington, D.C. What's going on? Joe Bez, sorry about that. Terry is from Atlanta. Awesome. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, throw them out there. Reggie, what's going on? I haven't had you in my chat in a while. Hope you're doing well. It's a crazy world, and I want to adjust my camera again, but I won't touch it. Tweet TV is sister channel to Twitch TV. Is Tweet TV really one? Because there was one I signed up for this past week called, no joke, if I can find this here. It was specifically for DJs. It was called, I have to find it because they sent me an email. It was called playdj.tv, and it was specifically designed for DJs. They just started it, so I signed up for it like 2 days ago. playdj.tv, and literally like 4 days after it, they got so much bombardment for people wanting to go online that they literally had to put a pause on their entire thing and stop. It's off site now. You can't stream from it. You can't do anything. They got so much bombardment from people wanting to stream that they had to stop. So I really hope that somebody somewhere does something that is a little bit better. We just had someone in the chat there. Patrick talked about Mixcloud. I tried Mixcloud the first week it was out. This is no judge of it. So the first week they were still working with things. Their servers were really getting overloaded because it took forever to get stuff to once you started your feed. It took almost 2 minutes to get it to feed onto that. So someone's told me that last weekend they put 24 new additional servers on. So probably next week I'm going to give it a try again and see what it's like. But basically it's kind of like Twitch in a way that the way the viewer system is. But the two difference at this time, at least, on Twitch, you can save the video for people to watch, even though they do go back and censor it, because every video I've ever done mixing, like tonight's stuff's all going to be, as soon as I get off of here, I'm going to try to download the Twitch thing, and then probably, by morning it'll be all censored off. But the restream, there's no save. Not the restream, but the Mixcloud, there's no restream. It's just live only. So if you're wanting to do something where you have something there for someone to go back and check out later, that's not going to be for you, but it's for live. That's one I would use if I get a chance. And I can basically what I'm trying to do is build an audience on one of them right now, because I get lots of people view on Facebook and Twitter and all that, but I can't get people to go over to twitch.tv for some reason, even though you don't have to download anything. You don't have to sign up for anything. All you have to do is point your browser there and you can watch. And I just don't know why people don't want to do that. But like I can do Facebook and get a boatload of people watching, but I go over there and I get like 3. So there's a lot going on right now. Checking out the chat right now. See here. Patrick says, I'd like to hear about your audio-only visualization and your live stream settings. My audio-only visualizations, because virtual, and I'm going to have trouble sharing the windows here because for some reason OBS will not let me share windows. But I have, this is a video that's playing right there, and if I throw a song on there, that is non-video, you get these background video running. I'm going to do this so that you can at least see it. Hold on here. All right, and those are just background loops running, and you can see it there. Let me see if I can bring the window over. No, that won't show there, but I think I can capture video only. Hold on here. Hold on, I can switch that over to video only. Hold on here. All right, so now you're probably seeing that. Now I've got to adjust this a little bit and try to get it down to size here, because it's all sizable and stuff like that. It's not sizing on me there. I apologize. There we go. All right, so now I can adjust that and make that meet everything that I want it to. But these are visualizations, and if I can get the pop-up to work over on the other screen, which I doubt I can because I'm having trouble getting the pop-ups to work, you look in all these different settings over here, which you are not seeing the pop-ups, so that's not going to work. There's telemedia and televisual, and they are add-ons, and you can't see it. I cannot capture this, but they're add-ons that let you do loops and different things like that, and that's what these are. This is telemedia, and there's ones that will do graphics in the bottom corner. The thing you're seeing spinning, you see spinning on the screen when I'm doing the video at the bottom, that's from Virtual. That's part of their video skin that runs in the background. But again, I can't show you these pop-ups because for some reason this is not capturing the pop-ups. But basically, those are two add-ons. It's televisual and telemedia. And basically, if you have used Serato's, whatever the one Serato is, I can't remember what it's called. This does everything it does and more. This is just endless. Like there's so much stuff these two do, and this is the free part of it, where you can actually purchase the one. There's another level that you can purchase that is way more, does a lot more. But those are the two. You can download them right from Virtual site. They're free. You can do everything from on-screen texting, live pictures. People can have a text number, one of the, what do they call that, Fire, whatever. Those all work through that. Like I said, and all I do is that I have it picked in my drop-down menu, which again, I can't, for some reason this thing's not capturing the menus. So when I do the drop-down menu, you search for audio, and then there's a setting in there for what do you do when you play MP3s only. And I have mine set to go to the televisual, and then that televisual has 4 banks of 12 loop videos, and all it does is I have it so simple where it just goes video to video, loops the video, goes to the next video, loops the video, goes to the next video, loops the video, goes to the next video, and that's all it does, and that's all my background video stuff is. Let me see here. Hello, Robin. I didn't get to say hello to you. I'm trying to get all the people. There's a lot here. Patrick, I hope that answers your question. Like I said, there was a lot there. I can't. I'm angry that I can't show that. I tried all afternoon to figure out. It won't, any pop-ups on a program, for some reason OBS doesn't capture it. And somebody was saying you can add something or other, which I'm going to have to look into that, but I apologize. But let me see down here. Reggie said he got his hours cut in half on his full-time job. Yeah, it's crazy out there, man. Oh, got it. Dave's joke about tweet was tweak. Yeah. We talked a little bit about the Mixcloud already. Do you play your music from Snook wants to ask, do you play your music from an external hard drive or straight from the computer? Both of my, well, here it is. This is my main DJ computer. It is a Lenovo gaming computer, and I also have a Lenovo Yoga, which is my backup, and both of them are crazy powerful. This one has dual SSDs. It has an M.2 style that runs the operating system, and then there's a regular, I think it's the Samsung Evo 9 something SSD that holds all the music. So everything is in the computer, but there's 2 hard drives. And the computer I had before that, I did it that way too, 2 internals. And then when I went to the new Yoga, it came with just a singular small M.2 SSD drive, and I ended up putting a terabyte M.2 in there and then partitioning it into a C and a D, so I have my programs on C and my music on D. So I still kind of keep it separate, mainly because on my studio computer it's the same way too. So anytime I back up one computer, I can back all three of them up and put what's on C drive and all of them, and what's on D and D drive and all of them. I just have never liked to use the external hard drive. The main advantage of using the external hard drive is if you're DJing with other people and you want to just walk up and pop your hard drive in their computer and DJ off Serato like that, that's the advantage of doing it that way. I never DJ with other people. I just don't get that option, but maybe every so many years, and it's not that big of a deal to me to do that. So like I said, I just go with the internal, so I walk up with mine, 2 internals, or like I said, that terabyte on that other one, it's actually the one I'm doing the chat on tonight is my backup computer. And it's, like I said, it's crazy fast how fast the stuff's getting nowadays, and light and small, running a 15.6-inch screen. But like I said, with it just that single M.2 in there, and like I said, that's all it is, both of them, and I partitioned it to a C and a D and put the music on one, the programs on the other, and it works for me. It's not for everybody, but again, like I said, if you want to be the type of person that can walk up to a friend's computer and DJ with them by popping your hard drive in and DJing, you need to do things differently. You can do that with virtual. Absolutely, 100% you can do that with virtual. I just choose not to because it's not really something that big for me. So moving on down in the questions. I'm sorry I have to look over this way tonight for the questions. Normally when I'm on my studio computer, everything's in front of me. Reading here. Terry, that's a good question, Terry. Terry said, I have 7 pads I use on Virtual DJ for samplers. What is the limit you can have? I believe I read on a download that Virtual has. Let me see if I can find it on the website here. You can have endless amounts of pads, if I can remember what it is here. Because when I did one of the demos I did somewhere, there's a scratch routine I do where it's a song, it's a mashup song of a bunch of Daft Punk songs back to back to back to back to back, and I put my scratch samples on another track. So there's, I think, 20 cue points I have on that thing, and 20 samples back to back, and they're all numbered. So when I get to cue point 1 on the right deck, I'm cue point 101. When I get to cue point 20 on the right, I go to cue point 20 on the left. Let me see if I can find that for... It's a pad mode is what it is, and I can't remember. It's an add-on that you can do 32 samples. So there's a 16 and a 32 sample download right at the Virtual DJ's website. I don't know if I can share left deck or not. You can just go there. It's called 32 samples is what it's called, and it lets your pad mode go up to that many. But what you're going to do is you're going to end up cycling. So the button is 1, and then you press it again, then it's layer 2, then layer 3. So you're going to have multiple layers down through there, which I've done that before. Mine are set up here on the decks that to where I have, this is for my cue points, and then I press it again, and then it is flip mode, basically, which is Serato. This is Virtual's version of that way, recorded loops and stuff like that. But the second one over here is my audio effects, and then I press it again, and then it goes into the regular loop rolls. And then the next one over here is video effects, so I can do video effects on the screen live just by pressing a button. I have a whole bunch of different stuff set up that way. Do it again, and it's the slicer that goes through there. And then my final one is just simply my samples that the audio samples out. But I could layer that again, which I'd saved that last one because I wanted to layer that last one to do video. For doing when I do lights, so that I can do my DMXing through that, so I can have all my eight basically things of DMX on that way. Moving on down here. Oh, thank you, Dave. Dave said that his wife and friends were hanging out, dancing to or just checking out my Latin mix. Like I said, I love Latin House, so I got to do a 2-hour set tonight. I wanted to do it yesterday, but wasn't able to, so I just did it my 5th plus 1 DeMeo mix, and it's all Latin House. You can check that out if you want. Is there any way to get controller-specific skins? The 2020 version update disabled 4 of my video effects. Okay, first off, John, welcome. I would probably have to ask you to explain that a little bit more, because effects have absolutely nothing to do with the skin. Now, I think probably I should ask you a question ahead of time. Are you using a controller, or are you using just the computer with a mouse? Because that can affect what you have the ability to do, the skins. But when it comes to effects, like I can put any skin on there and it's not going to affect what I have programmed here to do. So let me know if that's what you're talking about, that it's causing effects on your controller not to work, or just the skin itself is not letting you have certain skins. Because there, like I said, I always tell people, I had somebody last year, and the person might be in the chat. I don't know if you are, I'm sorry. But they said, well, I don't like Virtual DJ because of the way it looks. When you tell me you don't like Virtual DJ because of the way it looks, is the equivalent, what I hear in my head is you saying, I don't like my TV because of the programs on it. That's what I hear, because there are thousands upon thousands of skins that you can put in Virtual. Ones on the Virtual DJ website and ones that other people make that are not on the Virtual DJ website. I literally have 3 different Serato mock skins that look exactly like Serato in mine. I have endless amounts of stuff. So try to find what you like. I know a lot of people say that, like, I have such and such controller, I want the such and such skin to match it. It may not fit your function. You might need to just abandon that I want it to look like this sort of thing and get something that does what you need it to. I use Controller HD by Denon is one I've always used. It's on the virtual site, but he just recently updated it, called the 2020 Controller HD by Denon. And I recently, and that's the one I showed over here. You share back over here. I have so many things to push. This is the version 20 here. I like it because it pushes up, and I'll switch here, and I'll go back to the stock one. Let you see the stock. This is the default. All right, so that's the default, and you can see how far down that skin part goes until you get to the songs. I want more songs, less this, because I want to see all the songs I could see. So I took his Controller HD by Denon, which is the Controller 2020 by Denon, which is that. And as you can see, he left an area in the middle of the platters that you can put a logo there if you want, and that's what I did, is I edited the logo and put my logo there. And like I said, this is all pushed to the top, and I can see all I want to see down here at the bottom, and that's kind of one of the reasons I like it. But like I said, there's zillions of skins. Like here's the Serato one, and like I said, you can adjust horizontal, vertical waveforms if you want with this. Absolutely anything you want to change, you can change on it, and you can literally endlessly change whatever you want. And I have to go now, since we changed this, it changed my wave colors here. So I need to go back to the, there we go. When I do the Serato one, it always makes me go to the other one. So let me see if his answer's back there about doing the skins. Why does the mic not work on Facebook but works for SPL encoder? I don't know that question, because I don't have any problems with any of the mics on anything ever. Again, in your settings, that when you choose the audio settings, you have to determine, it's different when you're doing a live broadcast than you're pushing out to speakers, because the deck has its own, your controller has its own sound card. And then with virtual, like I said, you can do anything with it. So you have to determine where this sound card is sending stuff for both audio being played and mic, because most decks, like I use the Denon 7000, the mics are hardwired. So literally I can disconnect the program. As long as this is powered on, my mic is still going to go through. But with virtual, you can take over that part of the sound card and make that mic go somewhere else. So you have to go in and change the settings and determine a mic setting, because there are specific mic settings, and make sure you have in the top panel there headphones and audio out, and then there's going to be a mic choice. Make sure those are all chosen, and you give them a proper channel. And remember, when I talk channels, Dan and I were talking about this the other night, that a channel is not necessarily this fader, because you can have channel 1 and 2 covering these two. Hold on here. You can have channel 1 and 2 broadcasting sound out of this, and 3 and 4 being your headphone over here, and 5 and 6 being mics if you want, or 5 and 6 being line in. Because it's not channel. It's not like channel 1, channel 2. That's not the way those sound cards work. You determine what you want those sound cards are, and you can make as many as you want to line up there. I know that's kind of confusing. I wish I could show you the pop-up there. But I think I did other videos on that, how to do that. But like I said, it just lets you pick multiples and lets you put anything where you want to put that. But like I said, you have to go into the settings. It isn't a plug and play. If I were able to show you my pop-up here, the kind of settings I have to make this work with when I do the multi-broadcast, because I'm running sound from the deck, and then this mic is actually running through an external USB mixer, a Behringer mixer, or Behringer as I like to call them. And the mic is going through that because I do not have a, I can't think of what those little boxes are called with the power, the phantom power and stuff. Direct box. I don't have a direct box to put this mic into it. So when I plug this into the controller, I don't get mic. So I run it through that. And then in virtual, I choose that as my microphone. So I choose that as my microphone. Then OBS sees that as a separate volume from the music. So there's actually two volumes going on. The music and the mic are two separate volumes in there from two different devices because virtual lets you do that. Hold on, let me get back to here. So I'm trying to scroll here. So Twizla, I'm not sure if that answered your question. Like I said, there's some playing with it. Do a little look online and see if other people have had the same problem, because like I said, I do all my stuff and I can make the mic run from there or here. If there's something specific you mean that I can maybe answer better, maybe rephrase the question, I can maybe help you out with that a little bit better if we could. Joe Bez says the default skin is the best. There is no best. It's whatever you like. And that's the way I like to say that. Because like I said, the default skin doesn't work for me because I want to see more songs and less crap. Because I know what I'm doing up here. I don't need to see all the stuff at the top because I'm doing the stuff on the decks. I only need to see the waveforms and just basics. So that's why I like the controller HD, because it shrinks everything way up there and I can just see the songs, because I'm all night long doing quick mixes, because the place I DJ for colleges and clubs and bars, and so I have to be like I can't go more than like 2 minutes on songs, 2.5 minutes on songs. That's it, maximum. So I need to see songs, be able to scroll and load and scroll and load and scroll and load, scroll and load all night long. So there is no wrong skin. Find the one you want. Like I said, there's thousands of them, both on the site and off the site. Find one that works for you, because everybody DJs differently. Everybody wants something differently. Everybody thinks differently when it comes to how they mix. So find something that works for you. Try stuff out, because you can delete it. You download it. You don't like it, delete it. It's that simple. Some people do like the controllers the skins that look like their controller. If you look at virtual site, let me go back here, and I can sort the skins by popularity. If I can get that to pop up. All right, so I go here and I go to skins, and we sort it by popularity. Number 1 is a Pioneer skin that's like a Pioneer. Second one is the DDJ SB skin. Third one is turntables. Fourth is multi-touch for guys who use the touch screens. Fifth is Hercules. Wait a second, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth, and then sixth is the controller 2020 by Denon. Seventh is Party Mix, which is that little tiny thing, so it's made to look like that. And eighth is the HDJ-RX. So all but 2 of the top 8 are skins that look like a controller. So I don't like those, but that's the most popular. So it's like I said, find what you like. That's the wonderful thing about virtual. I always tell people, you can never say virtual, I wish virtual did this, or I wish virtual didn't do that, because you can change it to do. I haven't found a limit on anything really yet. Where did I get the Serato skin? That was from a site online that is a Spanish site, so I had to use the Google Translator within the Chrome browser to translate to find my way in. And like I said, if you just do a search for Serato skin for virtual, they're out there. I actually have the Serato mapping for the key shortcuts. So my key shortcuts are the same as Serato whenever I run that. So like I've had friends that want to come and DJ with me, and like, well, I can't use virtual, even though I do have Serato in there. I'm like, here, try this. And I'll put the Serato skin on and then put the Serato key shortcuts, and I'm like, go ahead. And they're like, well, that's all right. So find what you like. See, again, it's the program's the same. They're just using a different skin with the Serato skin, and they're all of a sudden great with it. And it's the same program. It's just a different skin. Go back here. He says he's talking about the mic sending it to online radio. So that's the second question. You're doing broadcasting through Virtual's video streaming as opposed to OBS. Is that correct? So we're back to the mic thing again. Let's clarify. You're using Virtual's broadcast stuff as opposed to using like an OBS or Livewire or something like that. Let's clarify that. Moving on down here. Controllers do exactly what they say controller software. Not sure what that is, but feel free to come back to that. I wonder if you can use the snip tool to capture a piece of the pop-up and snare it. I've tried. See, I can do the video, whenever you watch any of my live broadcasts, there's a video that you'll see. And what that is doing is that I'm capturing the video screen out on my second monitor, because Virtual's here, the second monitor's there, and it's capturing that. But I can't get it to capture the pop-up. Any menu pop-up, I can't get it to capture, and I'm working on that, so I apologize. I'm working on that. Even when I try to capture the whole screen, it still eliminates that pop-up for some reason. I don't understand why. I read some things online, people saying it doesn't do that. Other people say, well, yeah, if you get this plugin for OBS, which I haven't tried any of that yet, so we'll try. Joe says, are some skins resource hogs? Not that I really, well, yeah, because I had one that I used 2 or 3 years ago when I spun in the Denon booth at the DJ Expo. I spun on the Denon 5000s. And for the past, 2 decades, no, not quite 2 decades, but a long time, I've spun on programs and different things where the waveform is over top the waveform, but the 5000s is what's playing on the right deck is the waveform over here, and what's playing on the left deck is the waveform over here. Let me get both of those in the screen. So I went and got a skin, again from that Spanish site, where you can modularly fit things, and I found an SC5000 and a mixer setup, so to when I loaded on Virtual, it looked like that. And that one's a resource hog. I will try to bring it up and show it to you, but it may crash everything. So if I crash everything, stay tuned. I'll try to get everything back up again. But let me go over here, switch this up so you can see Virtual. All right, so I'm going to go here, and you can't see the pop-up, but there's a pop-up right here. And it was the SC, what was it called? All right, so yeah, this is the module. And this one is a bit of a resource hog. All right, so that's the SC5000. So you would have the waveforms. That's not the right one. There it is. Hold on here. This one takes a while to come up. But you can piece whatever you want here. And you don't see anything, but I'm going to go bank 1. And I'm going to pick a turntable for the left deck. And is that showing up? That's not showing up, is it? And then deck 2, I'm guessing it's not doing that. So you're not getting to see that. No, it's not. Right now, if you would see it, there'd be 2 decks there. And this one here, like I said, because you can modularly fit stuff, there would be stuff right here. Or again, it's not capturing the skin. Not capturing the pop-up, but those are pop-ups. I can maybe do a picture later or something. I think it just shot me because I'm scrolling over here on this side. I can't really tell what I'm doing. But that one's a bit of a resource hog, simply because it's generating 3 separate parts to the same skin. So it's not just a skin, it's a background, and then you do your left deck, your right deck, and your mixer, and then it ties all of those separate things that you can actually modularly move around. That one's the only one that I've seen is a bit of a resource hog. Not sure why, but it is. Let me see if I can do here. Yeah, Paul's talking about the controllers doing having selectors. Yeah, you can select anything you want, but I'm talking about the software. So I can choose deck 3 and 4 is not I can literally have channels 3 and 4 in the program running digital stuff, and the switch is flipped on the controller doing analog stuff. So, like I said, with virtual, you can set things up to do anything you want to do them. Now, I'm not sure if that's what you meant by that. Again, it's all choice. If somebody there's talking in the chat about why would you replicate what's in front of you, people like that. So it's entirely. I did that. Like I said, the reason I did that is because I needed to practice for when I spun on the SC5000s, because the waveforms were not over top of each other. So I got that modular skin so I can practice when I load a song and I'm looking at it. I'm seeing the waveform here and the waveform here, because I can no longer use that visual waveform over waveform when using the 5000s, because the same way with the 6000s also. The waveforms are on separate units, and I had to practice that way, and that's why I got that one, so I could be able to practice that way. Joe says he uses a USB mic. Now we back to some controllers. Some controllers can be used as mixers, standalone mixers. There's several out there. I know the 6000 will work as a standalone mixer. You just run it. I know that there's the little 6000 that I've used that many nights with other people, where I've just used it as a standalone mixer with people to connect turntables to it, and it was the center mixer. Let me see, because I'm having a little bit of trouble with the chat feeding here. Give me a second here. Something's not coming up. If I can get this back on board here and get some more questions. See where we're at here with the questions. Alrighty. I know you're talking about virtual DJ, but just curious, what type of headphones do you... Yeah, you can ask any question now. It doesn't have to be a virtual DJ. I just set that as a general topic because I've been getting a lot of questions lately about virtual. But yes, questions. He asked what kind of headphones am I using. The mic, this is a thing called a Headset Buddy. I bought it off of Amazon for about $12, and I hooked it to around the head thing because it's got one of those over the ears around the head things. But the headphones are just Pioneer X5s. I like them a lot. They don't cost a lot. They're really freaking durable. And like I said, I go through headphones. Like I said, because I'm DJing when I'm out, when it's normal. I'm DJing 3 times a week plus in the studio stuff. So I'm using them a lot, and they've held up. And I think the X5s are only about $70. I want the X10s, but I can't get anybody to give me a good price on them, and they run over $300 for the X10s, and they do sound better in my opinion. They really do, because I've got to hear them, like put the X5s, then the X7s, then the X10s, but I can't get anybody to come down, and I just don't want to take a $300 pair of headphones out to a club and have somebody steal it. That's just me. I know OBS isn't picking up the pop-up windows, but if you use Snip Tool built into Windows Capture, I might be able to do that. I've not messed with Snip Tool very much. Maybe I'll have to look at that in the future about capturing the windows. I'm not really sure how that would do that. I mean, I know I can capture a screenshot and show you what the screenshot looks like, but I don't know if I want to do that tonight. Yeah, I actually in the house have both the 6000 MK2. They're stupidly solid mixers and controllers that do everything that this thing does. They're just small. That's the only thing. They're the last one that I know of that can be rack mounted, because they do have wings for them. So if you have a 20-inch rack mount, the 6000 MK2, you unscrew bolts, take the sides off, put the wings on the L brackets, and you can rack mount that if you want. And that's one of the last ones that does that. But it has, the only thing it's missing, in my opinion, compared to like this, is the fact that I like 8 Q buttons and those only have 4. I mean, you can layer them and have as many Q points as you want, but there's only 4 physical buttons there, and I like more. I like the 7000 because it's size, because I can actually work and I'm not doing this, because like I said, I'm mixing all night long, so I need room in between buttons to twist and move and do all kinds of stuff. But those are both like super solid. The event timer, I've only, when it came out, so those of you who don't know, Virtual has a thing called an event timer, and again, it's a pop-up that won't be captured, and you can set a series of songs up to where, let's say you need to walk out on the dance floor 30 seconds and get out to the dance floor and say something on the mic. With the event planner in virtual, you can put a program in there and say start 30 seconds after I press play. And let's say you only need to play a minute of that song. Then you say play to 1 minute, and then you put another thing in there that says transition, this type of transition to this song, and play for so many minutes. So you can literally set up your entire scene, and that scene can also be shared amongst other DJs. So if you have other DJs that do the same sort of routine, you can put that thing in there for the thing, press play, walk out there, it will start that song, you can do your talking, whatever, blah, blah, blah. When it's supposed to change, it'll automatically change and go through the whole thing like that. It does what it does, but for me, I'm not that type of DJ. I get on the mic maybe once or twice a night at most. There are many places I DJ where they don't even allow a microphone there. Your job is to mix and get people to dance from the mixing. You cannot, they literally will not allow you to get on the mic. There's no mics in there, no mics allowed. There's a place I DJ at where I had a friend come in and DJ there, and he likes to get on the mic, and the owner called me because I had him filling in. The owner called me and said, don't bring him back. He's a great DJ, but I don't want him talking that much. So it's a different world for different people. So, but that's what that event thing is it lets you set up a series of things in a script form. And like I said, once you do that, you can take the script and the songs and give them to someone else, and they can follow that exact same thing. Let me move on down here. Prime 2 and the Prime 4. I have used the Prime 4. I have not used the Prime 2 yet because none of us can get out anywhere, and they just started shipping them. I didn't order one. I had the Prime 4 in the studio for like 2 weeks prior to the DJ Expo last year because I was using it at DJ Expo for when I spun on the Denon floor, and I wanted to get used to it. So I had it here for 2 weeks and then used it there. It is not for me. It's not for everybody. So you can't think of it like the 7000 with a screen and play without a computer mode. It is more, how can I explain this? Right here on both sides of this fader on the Prime 4, the switches that are up here that let you switch between phono line and all that kind of stuff, they're here on the Prime 4. So when I'm doing my crab scratch, I'm kicking those buttons off all the time. Now, one of my complaints about Denon is they put these down here too close. So when I'm scratching, I'm always banging against these. So these channels, as you see, the gain is down. They're flipped to the external, and those are up. So when I'm mixing, I can have some room to do what I want to here, and that's it. So the Prime 4, though, is really compact there. And it's the same way with the pitch fader, that they did move the pitch fader over here. But I literally had to learn how to scratch differently because, you know, you're constantly hitting that with your finger. I had to learn to do this off of there, and it's crazy. But they did move it over on the Prime 4. So my one complaint is those. And the second complaint is the platter on the Prime 4s. If you're not a person who scratches, it's not going to matter to you. It definitely was designed with like an EDM DJ who wants to just nudge like it's the weight of a full-size record player kind of pull on the nudge on the wheel. I can't. It's way too heavy for me. Like a scribble scratch. This is a scribble scratch. I don't know if you're going to pick it up on here, but it's moving like really, really fast. That's a scribble scratch, okay? I can't do a scribble scratch on the Prime 4. The platters are that heavy, I cannot do a scribble scratch at all on there. So it's not for everybody. If you want to develop, now that it takes software, so you can hook up your laptop to it and DJ off the software until you kind of get used to having everything on the internal hard drive or on thumb drives. So it gives you that option now to where you can make that transition from a laptop to a non-laptop DJing. I have a friend who does that for weddings now. It took him a while to translate that to where he got everything comfortable, and now he just uses the Prime 4 for weddings. No computer. He has it there as a backup. Don't get me wrong. He has it there as a backup, which is extremely smart, and one of the best things I think about the Prime 4 is it's a great backup. The same with the Denon 8000 and the couple of Pioneers that let you do either thumb drives, hard drives, or laptop, that it gives you you always have a backup there. So if something crashes, you can always play music, and that's the purpose of that. But like I said, it's not for everybody. It's kind of heavy for me because I'm taking this into like sometimes 2 clubs a night. So I'm doing an opening set somewhere and a closing set somewhere else. So I have to come in and out of there all the time with stuff. So it's not for everybody, but that's just my opinion. I've not got to mess with the 2. I'm interested. The 2's too small for me probably, so I won't see myself getting that. And that's what kind of worries me as Denon starts to develop some of these things. And I don't want to like talk bad on them because I love them. They treat me so well. They're awesome, awesome people. But the 7000s are getting older, and if they don't make something similar to this to replace it, when these go out of warranty and out of all that stuff where I can't get it covered by Denon, I have to switch brands because what they're currently putting out I can't put to use. Even though I think it's awesome, great technology, the hands-on touch of what it does and where stuff's placed, I just can't use it. It's for my type of mixing, I can't. So hopefully they'll come out with something like this. When I talked to them a couple years ago at the expo, they said that they doubt that there would ever, because you understand that Numark is also owned by the same company that owns Denon. They said they doubt there would be another NS7. So if perhaps Denon continues on the direction they are, maybe they would make a replacement on the Numark side that is equivalent size of like the NS7, but not heavy, because the platters, I love the motorized platters, but that is a heavy unit. If you've ever picked one up, they're freaking crazy heavy. And that's my only complaint about those is the weight. I love them. I love the placement. I think it's the best placement of all the buttons and stuff I've seen on any controller ever. I also like it better than the Pioneers because the Pioneers always, I don't know what word I came up with the other night, hijack channels. So for the mics on most of theirs, you have to hijack one of the up or down channels, 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the mic. Denon and Numark don't have that. They give them their own thing. So you have 4 dedicated channels to audio and 2 dedicated mics. So in the process of Denon going the direction they are, maybe Numark will then pick up that spot in there of the type of controller that I like and most people like, and that Pioneer has one of everything for everybody. So who knows what the future holds? Who knows when we'll be back to normal DJing, but that's the route on that. That's my answers for the 4000 and the Prime 4 and the Prime 2. We still got some time. I'm going to get some more questions here. I have a friend who has a Prime 4 and still uses a laptop with Serato, which really makes no sense. Again, unless you've spent time on the Prime 4, it's going to take a long time, and I mean a long time, for you to get your library the way you want it on that Prime 4. Cue points, let me a good example here. I have a thumb drive. Stick it into the Prime 4, I can play. It does scan the stuff, so I don't have to put it in another computer, scan that thumb drive. I can play from the thumb drive. But let's see, while I'm playing and I'm punching around on the screen with all my songs that are on that thumb drive, there's one on there I want to delete. I cannot delete that on the Prime 4. I have to take that out, put that in another thing, delete it, and then stick it back in. Number one problem. Number two is in the process of me putting a set together for Denon, there was a song that I wanted to change the BPM, so when I'm doing my quick mixing, I wanted it to be the same BPM. So I just bumped it up, took the thumb drive out, took the song, put it in the computer, bumped it up a couple BPM, put it back in there, stuck it back in. It would not read that song as the new BPM no matter what. It was the right BPM, but it would not read it as the changed BPM. I literally had to change the name of the song outside of when it's plugged in, then put it back in, then it read the new song at the higher BPM and the other one at the original, instead of having both at the original, because it would not read it as the higher. So there are things like that with your library, like for me, it's really picky. Cue points, tagging, all that kind of stuff, because I don't do crates, I do tagging. So if I want to search for a hip-hop song from 2005 to 2009, I do this a ridiculously long string in virtual, and it lets me do that. I don't have to do crates. So unless you're doing crates and stuff like that, you're limited by what it can do. And also video, more than probably 3/4 or more of my library is videos. I can't use any of them. I would have to convert all of them over on the Prime 4 to use them. So until you get your library up and moving to where the Prime can handle it, that's why people use the thing on the Prime, because it's going to take time for you to get your library there and usable. That's all. Because it's different. It's like it's like the days when you went from CDs to a computer. There's a period there where you have to make that adjustment from one type of medium to another type of medium, and it also is going to change when people are doing streaming stuff too. So, moving on down here, I agree with the platters are big and heavy. Platters to me aren't big. They're small platters. They're too small. I think that even these ones here are too small. I would like to see bigger than this. The Pioneer 1000, I think, has the right size platters, and they're a good weight. But the weight on the Prime 4s are just, to me, it's unusable. And I don't mean to bust on them because I love Denon. I love these guys. Look, I have a freaking Denon stuff all over the place in the studio. I love them. But that Prime makes it really hard. So I'm hoping that, that maybe they or something comes out with that. John says he loves his 8000. My debate on between the 8000 and the 7 was very close because that 8 gives you the option of the thumb drive if you want to use that. But I went with the 7. I don't know. I like them both. To me, they both have things I like about them. You can also route another DJ's controller through the Prime 4. Okay. 8000 MCX 8000 isn't all that heavy compared. I would like you to hold the MCX 8000 in one arm and the NS7 Mark III in the left arm, and you'll see what the difference is. Because I know that the 8000 is just slightly heavier than this one, and this one's 15 pounds. And if I'm correct, the NS7 is almost 30 pounds. I think it's 28 point something or other pounds. And that's no case. That's no nothing. That's just the unit. Yeah, he likes the ability to use the thumb drives. Like I said, everything crashes eventually, and that gives you an option that at least if your computer crashes or something, you can have the thumb drive and units like that and be able to finish your night and collect your paycheck. That's the purpose of all that. So, can you tell the people about my library plugin for virtual? Not your plugin, but my plugin. I can do that. All right, so I'm going to switch over here. See if I can do the close-up and see if I can move this over. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further here. This is a plugin that you can get from the virtual site. Let me shrink this down. And it's called My Library right there. And when you open up My Library, it gives you all these different folders, and they're smart folders. So all of them have information already to that. So if I want to see songs by year, this is not anything I've done. Like I said, all you do is load this My Folders plugin, and you can then open that up, and it gives you all your different years, how you have them grouped. And this is by tag. Genre, they're all grouped together, and my screen just went wacky again. I think my plug's coming out of the other monitor. Are we back on yet? There we go. I think my plug came loose over there is why. But it gives you all different genres. And one of the coolest things about it is if you go in here to, is it database? Then tools. Then you can separate stuff by title, artist, BPM, genre. And you can have one of the folders, smart, tells you what songs are missing in the database. Songs have not been scanned in the database. Low bitrate songs. All kinds of stuff like that. Stuff that has not been scanned by your thing. Stuff that doesn't have an artist name to it. And this is not, like I said, once you do this, you don't have to, this isn't something I've created. All you do is load this tool. It scans your entire library, and then instantly you have access to all those things. So if you want to search songs that you don't have an artist for, it already puts them in a folder and lets you look at that and then fix that if you want. It breaks it down into BPM. So if you want to look at your stuff by folder by BPM, you can. But like I said, one of the things that I like to do with mine is that if I go, shut that off, and then let's go back to here. And if I do a search, whoops, hold on here. All right, so if I have my DJ music there, and I want to do a search, and this is one of the things that I think is coolest about this. Let me go a little bit further here with this. All right, so if I want to do a search now, and a lot of other people, like I said, they do crates, so I don't do crates. So let's say I'm DJing in the 100-105 BPM range. So right now, this is now brought up every single song in my entire library between that BPM range. Then I can do a space and go 2000-2005. Let me put the proper amount of zeros in there. And now it's only showing me songs between this BPM range and between this year range. And let's say I want stuff that's been on the top 40. My tag for top 40 is pop. So I put pop, and that means the song, it's in this list. It has been on the top 40 in that year between that BPM range. And let's say I want to go do a remix. And now it's showing me only songs between that range, only songs between that year, only songs within the top 40, and the remix versions of them. And like I said, that's why I don't necessarily do crates, because it gives me the option to kind of set things up however I want to set them up, and I can just search with tags. So yeah, like I said, there's NS7's 32 pounds. Love the NS7 III, love it, but it's crazy heavy. But yeah, like I said, there's no wrong way of DJing. So if you want to use crates, use crates. If you don't want to use crates, don't. This is the way my mind has been working, because I've been DJing 32 years, and my mind's always been about songs. I'm playing a BPM, I'm playing a genre, I'm playing a year. So I've never went into crates and looked at, this is my crate for this. It's, okay, I know this song is this year and this BPM. It's just the way my mind works. So I'm doing a search. If I'm playing a certain song, I can then do that. And then the other thing with virtual is down here, if I can zoom in there. That's not the one I want. I want the zoom in one. Hold on here. All right, so now you see over here, I'm going to load this song right here on the deck. And you saw that it just changed the key range. So if I even want to DJ in key, I can still do that same, see the keys right there change. I can even do the same search string, but every song that I load, it's then going to tell me how far off I am. That's these three match over here. They match. And then the one, it's one key off, 4 keys off. So if I load the 4 key off, watch them change. Whoops. Sorry. Dropped that in the wrong spot. There we go. And they changed. So that's one of the cool things about virtual, that it lets you kind of just view that stuff however you want. And that's how I choose to do it. There's no wrong way, but that's just how I choose to. So we are out of time. I'm going to take a couple more questions here. Yeah, I've actually tore apart the NS7 because I owned it for a while. And the platters are the same way that a full turntables platters are, cast aluminum. So what you're seeing on there spinning on the NS7 is a cast aluminum shrunk down version of a normal platter on a normal like 1200 or something. That's what makes them heavy. They're great. Don't get me wrong. They're great. They feel great. It's an incredible unit, but it's just heavy for someone like me who has to carry stuff around. But if you like it, that's great. I hope I answered all your questions tonight. I know I was all over the freaking place tonight, and like I said, I will work on that menu thing, and we will do another show in the future where I'm able to show you all those little menus and all the different things. Meanwhile, I do a whole series on Disc Jockey News called VDJ How To, where I break down a lot of things on there. They're short videos, all less than 5 minutes. Most of them are 3 minutes and under. Every kind of thing that you can do with Virtual DJ. The last one I just did is where I went into the menu area and then went through every single menu on that left-hand side tab and talked about what each one of them did. But like I said, other ones I go into more details. And if you guys have topics you want me to cover, let me know. I thank you guys for tuning in. It's a crazy world we live in, you know, that I'm able to be in my house and you in yours, and we still are able to communicate and talk and ask questions and learn from each other, and that's what we're kind of here for at Disc Jockey News. Like I said, get a chance, go over, check out the DJ NTV Insiders area for a short time. Every video there is free, so yes, to join, go on to Disc Jockey News, DJNTVinsiders.com, I think it is. You do a search for it on you'll find it. And you'll be able to go there and sign up for the Insiders area. And like I said, while we're in lockdown, you'll be able to get access to all. I mean, it's hundreds of videos on there with every kind of topic, both in the mobile world and mixing and lights and sound and weddings and fog machines and sales videos and everything you can imagine is there. So definitely go and check that out. It just gives you a chance to hang out in our insiders area with a lot of our insider people. And also, if you do want to connect with other DJs, right now, if I can remember, if somebody in the chat can put up the chill, if Robin or somebody in there can put up the address for the chill room, we do a chill room every single night, Disc Jockey News, during lockdown. Brian S. Reed kind of hosts it. It's a Zoom thing where if you sign up for it, you can get the link and you can go in there each night and talk with other DJs. It's not a group thing where we're all DJing and doing things. It's people talking, and you can talk about anything. There's nights in there I've had people talking about cars or food, but there's also great DJ talks in there about what type of equipment or favorite song or how do you handle this or do you remember when, even stuff like that. Like one night we were in there talking about records and stuff like that. So There it is. Thank you, Robin, for putting that in there. DJingTV.com/chill. It's there every single night. It's there tonight. So if you want to end up leaving my show and go over there and hang out, you can. But it's there every night for you, so that while this is going on, you have a place to go to and not feel alone. Or if you just maybe need to get away from your family for a little bit and talk with other people who nerd out over equipment or software or stuff that we do in the DJ world, this is a room where you can come there and hang out. It's not about judging. It's not about look at my skills. It's not about anything. It's just people hanging out, talking, and just kind of being in a group. So imagine you being at an expo or being in a group of people that love DJing like you do, or equipment or whatever you nerd out about. You can go there and hang out, and it's there every night for you. Disc Jockey News is putting that on. I thank you again. Thank you, Robin, for posting that. If there's any other questions, hit me up offline. I'm on all the social medias, and also, if you have any topics for future music and mixing shows or VDJ how-to shows or anything, do not hesitate to drop me a line and say, hey, can you do a show on this? Because I would say close to 90% of all the shows I do come from ideas that you guys send. So until next time, take care of yourselves, and more importantly, take care of each other, because it is an absolute crazy world out there. Thank you guys for watching. God bless.